Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Monday. Finally, the scourge of the weekend is over and Bitcoin's doing well. It's October 18th, 6:40 a.m. here in the Arizona desert in a jab-free green zone. Okay, check this out. This is Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart. We'll just get right into it. It's looking good. Doing a fib retracement from when we started moving up recently on like 29th of September to the recent high that we've had. The Fibonacci sequence does match very well, and also so does the VPVR, the visible range volume. So the 236 fib and the 382 fib definitely do come into play here. If we did have a dump this morning, if we broke below this upwards channel, I mean, this is quite worst case scenario, but that would be like 57,700 would be a bounce. If we went to the 382, that would be like 54,400, and all the way down to the dot 5 would be 51,837. Just mentioning these, not because I so much see them happening, but just to make a point that looking at a 4-hour chart here, which is a pretty powerful grasp on Bitcoin, it does show that really, could it be that 50K is done? Like we just won't ever see it again. Could possibly, but it's below the dot 5 fib level right now. I mean, dot 5 fib level, looking just at short-term gains here is 52,000. So if I squeeze this a little bit and show some more data, I always like to see this kind of a pattern where you've had a gradual downtrend, then boom, bit of an explosive uptrend. I like these. Anyway, let's take another look at this here. Let's go to the 45-minute chart and see how this all kind of plays out here. See if I can get this to get in frame here. So we are looking good here on the 45-minute chart. Let's delete some of this stuff so we can see a little bit closer. If you look at the indicators here, directional index has just gone red, ADX is going down, squeeze indicator showing a lack of momentum, KRI is poking up, stochastic RSI says we're still in kind of a good buy zone, but it is on the negative side. The RSI is below the signal, and the wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear says it's time to cool off a little bit. So this morning, we're at the top of the RSI cave here for the 45-minute chart. We are well above the 2-moving average. It's very, very good. Looks like for the immediate moment, we're looking at some sideways action for Bitcoin. And so we're going to see a sideways week or we're going to see an uptrending week. We shall see. At least we're starting the week looking good. Now, before we look at our alts, let's look at the fun stuff. A little bit of news here. Pro shares Bitcoin futures ETF to start in New York Stock Exchange trading on Tuesday. That's cool, but it is Bitcoin futures backed, not really, spot backed. It's not really real Bitcoin backed. But regardless, this does give big money the ability to rock into the market. Of course, there's ways they already could have done it, but from some of the news that I'm seeing, even though OTC does work for the big money, a proper ETF, especially futures-based, it's what the Wall Street types like. And this strange, like, isn't that kind of homoerotic up there? Isn't that a little weird? Those two guys? Anyway, with that said, looking at this tweet from Watcher Guru, $1,000 invested in these crypto at the start of 2021, and where are they at right now? SHIB, wow, is that 328 million? Solana, 106,000. Doge, 49,000. Anyway, I'm just mentioning this because sometimes it does not hurt to, and of course, not financial advice and entertainment purposes only, but hey, it ain't the worst idea if you got it to drop, well, whatever, $1,000 is to you, is $1,000, $10, $50, $500, whatever. It's good to trade, and I certainly like it, but I definitely have a pool of money that is my kind of speculation trade, and I do keep it out there, and in general, it makes me money. So, of course, I day trade. I different time frames. I mean, I'm always getting in things that are moving up, and I stay in until they turn around, which can be a matter of hours or it can be a matter of days, weeks. But with that said, still, the investors who leave money in for a while tend to do phenomenally. I mean, the people who've made the most money in crypto that I know have done nothing but dollar cost average on Coinbase. People can give Coinbase a hard time, and that's just fine. But I know people who are in the millions now, and all they've been doing the last couple of years is dollar cost averaging $50 a week. So with that said, keep in mind that sometimes the long game, some piece of your stash, Ain't a bad idea. This has done this guy here. I mean, crap. I mean, that's just friggin' awesome. Anyway, coin market cap. Looking at coin market cap this morning, looking at spot trading volume on Binance, 24 billion, up 51% last hour. I'm sorry, last 24 hours. You know, you want to see at least 30 and really want to see at least 50, I'm noticing, for a really powerful day in the market. So we're only at 24 right now, but that's close to 30. 30 can be kind of a mediocre market day, but we're at 51% last 24 hours. So definitely looking at the 7-day graph here, boom, we are perking up. So we'll have to see how Monday goes. It looks like the market's waking up. You want to be above 70 or 75 billion for futures, and we are. We're at 75 billion, 52% last 24 hours. So definitely retail trading volume is beginning to really get moving this morning. I dig it. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly across the big exchanges, this is retail volume, 5,900,000,000, basically just about 6 billion. That is enough to make a big difference. So we definitely have a market that has woken up, and we have the volume that we need for something to happen, even where it's a little bit low, like on spot trading on Binance. Not a big deal because we're at 50% last 24 hours. So definitely the market has woken up this morning. Looking at Coin 360 to see basically the market in squares. Bitcoin's just barely up 1% recently, last 24 hours, 61,356. I'll take it. Bitcoin challenging that 3,800 level again, 33,783. I like that. Sol back in the red, ADA in the red, XRP in the red. Definitely been a volatile weekend. We'll take a quick look at that. LTC in the green. I like seeing that. I think LTC is one of the coins that is powerful, but has not quite pumped yet. There's been some speculative news about possibly, now this is alleged, speculative, high octane speculation, but I've heard talk of LTC being the back-end token for Coinbase's NFT venture. And if that's the case, hey man, that $1,000 you put in Litecoin could be Lambo as crap, dude. Anyway, with that said, let's move on. Anyway, not financial advice there. Speculation, 100% high octane speculation. But I've heard that from a good number of sources, looking at the crypto news for what that is worth. I trust some people. I don't trust others. I weight some people's opinions and insider knowledge, and then some I think is total crap. And over the years, looking at the crypto news every day for 5 years, I found that I believe I'm seeing Litecoin being the back end for Coinbase's NFTs coming from some sources that in general I think tend to be legit. Okay, so Binance, Binance Bitcoin trading volume is 61% long. I'm sorry, longs versus shorts on Binance for Bitcoin, 61% long, 38% short. So definitely a long bias this morning for Bitcoin. Looking at Ethereum, 69% long, 30% short. So definitely a long sentiment for Bitcoin. So we got a good sentiment. We got increasing spot trading volume, good enough. Futures trading volume, Bitcoin trading volume is looking good. Dang, maybe it's going to be a good week. Daily chart, Bitcoin really is. See, the thing is, what I think is kind of happening is, every time you get to a big number with zeros on it, like 60,000, it ends up being kind of a psychological level. And as you can see, here on the daily chart, we're basically, playing around with all-time highs. It wouldn't surprise me if we range sideways a little bit. And also we have the previous all-time high of 63, 64K. I mean, that's going to be a psychological barrier to get through. So I think we're going to see a lot of volatility, etc. We're breaking through the psychological barrier of 60,000, which we kind of have. Then you have the recent all-time highs to break through. Boom. We have a lot of futures coming out. The SEC so far suddenly has been playing good with crypto. We'll see how that affects the market. BlackRock is even, I do believe, truly the Death Star itself. BlackRock is going to be doing. I did see some articles about a spot-based ETF on BlackRock, and well, crap. I mean, then the empire definitely is behind Bitcoin at that point. Well, backing Bitcoin. So anyway, just saying. A lot of news, a lot of stuff going on the daily chart. We're above the 200 moving average. This is good. We're moving up. We're challenging psychological barrier of 60K, psychological barrier of previous all-time highs. It wouldn't surprise me if we range between 60K and 64K, the all-time high. I could see ranging there for a while before we break up or down, probably up. looking at the histogram here, we're looking at the MACD. We've been slowly declining. The histogram has been closing, even though it is positive. We still have a very, very, very positive MACD, but a little bit of weakness beginning to show here. So let's see what happens. I mean, your guess is as good as mine, or maybe better. Bitcoin 4-hour chart, break above the 200 moving average a while ago, moving up beautifully within the RSI cave. We're at the top of the RSI cave right now. We're showing a little bit of a cool off right now on the 45-minute, I'm sorry, on the 4-hour chart. So that's to be expected. This is a pretty tight run, looks really good. Nice and consistent, smooth, beautiful, like a piece of German engineering, like a friggin' Panzer IV tank with a 75mm cannon, you know. Anyway, 45-minute chart. 45-minute chart's looking sweet. Definitely, we've been having some flaccidity, some sideways-ness, but these indicators, stochastic RSI is getting ready to turn up. Wave channel oscillator by lazy bear is getting ready to turn up. KRI is just about to turn up. Squeeze indicator shows we don't have a lot of upwards, momentum right now. That could definitely turn around. Directional index is in the red, but the KRI is gently trending up. It was a bit sideways this weekend, but we're right here in the middle of the RSI cave. Anything could happen in territory. We're above the 200 moving average. All is good. We'll see how it goes. I mean, if you do look at it, we have a beautiful uptrend that Bitcoin's been doing recently. Nothing's out of the ordinary. I don't see any reason for that to change. I mean, look at this. This is just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous chart. Bitcoin cooled off hardcore, to be understood. Broke below that 200 moving average. It's naturally been oscillating its way up, kind of got a little spooky there a few times. It's a strong chart, if you ask me. Looking at the oscillators from a distance, it just looks like we're in a natural slight cool off period. Maybe, hard to tell. These are whale games that we're watching right now. So let's see how things roll. I'm very curious to see this month as ETFs become available, if that really happens, or if the SEC starts just getting squirrely again. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Definitely with the ETFs. One thing that I have done is I have some hedge in with a trailing take profit on, because I'm kind of buying that rumor, and if it turns out not to be true, I definitely have stops in profit when Bitcoin dumps like crap. If that turns out not to be true. And I just mean dumping a couple percentage points, but I want to keep those gains. All right. With that said, looking at Shiba Inu, one of my favorite little coins. And here's why. Believe me, I actually do get just the most, guys, I know I mentioned it before, but just the most snarky, awful shit people comment and will say to me about liking SHIB. But look at this, man. 1,000 in the beginning of 2021. And what do you got right now? Boom. So I know somebody who put 8,000 in. So anyway, I'm just saying, who gives a shit? I mean, they're all shit coins. It's about making money. All right. Anyway. Shiba Inu 45-minute chart definitely got weak over the weekend. Just recently this morning, or I should say last night, it broke above the 200 moving average rather powerfully there. I like seeing that, and these kind of moves are what you see. Well, we'll look at those later, but that's a very powerful move. I like that. It's getting a bunch of diamonds that it's collecting, little blue diamond merit badges for crossing the 200 and the 314. Also, does 200 moving average crosses, these little Barbies, pink square merit badges as we call them. So it's looking good. It's not too overextended in the RSI cave. It's close to the moving 8. Directional index is in the green. ADX is trending up. KRI is about to trend up. Stochastic RSI says it's time to make a run. And the wave channel oscillator by Lazy Bear, which is the most frumpity, friggin' grumpy pants friggin' indicator ever, which keeps it real and pisses me off, is saying it's go time. So this is a nice loaded up chart. You ask me. Watch for a move. I'm just saying. I think we're going to see SHIB blast the crap off. And that's just a feeling. I mean, what can you do? I mean, there's the TA. You can look at this all different kinds of ways. I mean, you could, pull out a 4-hour chart if you want. That's totally fine. And you can look at it, etc. But in general, we're looking good, so I'm not going to belabor it. Doge versus USDT. I like what I'm seeing here. Around 24 cents really seems to be a spot where you can see by this green box here, this green line, that's why 24 cents has really been a spot where well, I should say, yeah, 24 cents even. There's really been a lot of support and resistance for Doge. It's had a hard, it can kind of find support on it. It can find kind of resistance to getting above it. But right now, directional X is in the green. ADX is catching up. KRI is blasting off. Tangent just turned around. It's beginning to slow down a little bit. Stochastic RSI is in a good spot. Weighted oscillated by lazy bear is looking good. In general, we're way above the RSI cave top, which makes sense why. It wicked and then boom, now it's bouncing off that resistance, which is the RSI cave top, kind of like it did back here. If you get too far above that 8 moving average, which is a red moving average, if you can see it right there. So when you get to that you get to that RSI cave top, you're going to stop, whether you're going up or going down, most likely, as you can see here. Down here, that the RSI cave bottom is what it bounced off of. So pretty much, we definitely had a nice, powerful run this morning. And I like that. We've broken above the 314 moving average. It's not uncommon to range between the 314 and the 200 and then break above. It's got a lot of velocity behind it. Let's watch what happens. I think it's going to have to probably, I shouldn't say have to, because there ain't no top, there ain't no bottom. Anything can happen. But with that said, it pushed pretty hard. Let's watch what happens. I myself personally am not interested in getting in on it yet, but I could see Doge making a move. Looking at the 45-minute chart, we're above the 200 and the 314. It moved, got way above the RSI cave top and the 8 moving average. Indicators are still looking good. It's kind of cooling off. Anyway, I think that's all the push it has in it for this morning. I will watch to see what it does later. All right, looking at XRP versus USDT, this thing just cannot get a break. But right around here, we can see support and resistance, and it looks like it's going to make a bounce, like basically a move off of that previous. It's going to make that support and resistance support, and the indicators are not incredibly promising, to be honest with you right now, but it is recovering. So we're below the 2 moving average in the 314, the bottom of the RSI cave. This is not a place where I would jump in it, but it looks like XRP for the crazy tough and phony brave might be a place to enter. I can't really suggest it, but if I was really an XRP, fanboy, I would go for it. I'd go for it, but I'm just not. So anyway, XRP looks like, let's watch. Let's just watch it. This is something I like seeing. SIS, BTC. This is something that was noticed over at Blockchain Education. SIS BTC, look at that. Here's your blue diamond merit badge. Look at that. Boom, right between above the 200 and 314 moving average. Bam, very, very powerful. Retracing with this is the indicator still looks strong enough. If you ask me, very, very good chance we might bounce off this 200 moving average and then continue moving up. This is the 4-hour chart because it kind of showed the spike very, very well. Looking at the 45-minute chart. There we go. You can see this break above the 200 and 314 moving average. And of course, we got above the RSI cave, above the 8 moving average. Of course, we came back down. And now we're back in the RSI cave, and it does look towards the bottom of it. The 200 moving average is about to cross over the 314. The white's the 200, the blue's the 314. Looks like we're about to have that's a very positive thing. 200 crossing over the 314. We're in the green as far as the directional index, and the ADX is in a good spot. Squeeze indicator shows we're beginning to lose momentum towards that dump. Towards this retrace. Basically, KRI is in the red, could be in the green very, very quickly. Stochastic RSI, it's just about to turn negative, but it's kind of in the buy zone. I wouldn't quite take that to heart too much. Looking at the weighted oscillator by Lazy Bear, it says that we're maybe getting towards the end of cooling off. So I'm going to watch this guy. I definitely could see here on the immediate time frame of the 45-minute chart. I'm going to watch when it gets to the bottom of this RSI cave. Will it start moving back up? Will it bounce off the 200 moving average? This is something to see, or is it all done with? I'm going to be watching this one kind of closely because I do love I trade against USDT or USDC most of the time, but I like doing trading against Bitcoin when I can, And just for some wild fun, let's look at, I've got it here, Trade Genius. They're cool indicators. If I have them loaded up here correctly, let's see if they're going to load for me. Come on. Oh, they need to. Okay, I'll have to fix this. I wanted to start looking at their indicators. I'll figure out why that's not working. I wanted to throw some of those in too because they have some very, very cool stuff. All right. With that said, looking at the OXT versus BTC, this is something found over at Blockchain Education also. Powerful move above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. It stayed in the RSI cave. It did stress it a little bit. Now it's right there in the middle. It's cooled off some. You can see that in the squeeze indicator, but we're trending towards positive. ADX is beginning to trend up. Directional index is still in the green. RSI, stochastic RSI is definitely showing possible turn up. KRI is in the right spot. Wave trend oscillator is kind of indecisive, but it's still in basically the in play zone there. This is definitely one to watch. It's a pretty explosive move. It's retraced some. If we were to do a little, I'm gonna go right here and do a look at that. If we were to go to a .5 retracement, that'd be like 853. That'd be a place definitely could bounce. 618 is the golden little pocket there between the 618 and the 650. Definitely a spot that it has respected on the chart here. So let's watch what happens. And all that's way above the 200 moving average. We go down to the 200 moving average. That'd be a 786 bounce. Anyway, that ain't bad either. So I'm watching this guy to retrace or start moving back up. That was an explosive move. Let's see if it can keep going. With all that said, it's a crazy world. It certainly is, as the Hodgkins twins say. Well, good is winning. And even if it's not, if you own one Bitcoin Satoshi, you definitely are doing the most physical, political, and electronic act of peaceful revolution you ever possibly could. It's a great day. It's a great week. I think we're going to make some serious money this week. With that said, I'll be back at it this week. I'll be here in the mornings. And if anything phenomenal happens or cool news, I'll hop on and talk about it. I'll try to schedule out at least an hour or so in the future so you can see this, and if you want, hop in, chat things, and I will mention them. Definitely, it's a collaborative effort. I did want to mention for reals, in the description, there's a Discord channel and there is a Telegram channel. Hop on both, one or both, whatever suits you. Definitely, it's fun to keep charts rolling, to keep the memes rolling, to have fun. Really, I find that some of my greatest gains are tips that I've gotten from other people. So let's help each other out. What you see that's going to take off, well, share it, and let's have fun. It's an irreverent group, so not exactly political correct, but that's fine. I ain't doing this for money. I'm doing it for fun. So we can say what we want. I don't need to. I'm not burdened with the corporate and money-making desire to not offend people. If you're easily offended, well, don't bother hopping in. Anyway, with that said, Satoshi is kicking the ass of fiat money. It's wonderful. This is the peaceful revolution. I'm glad you're here. And remember, it is essential to know, no matter what the market does or what the globalists do, that for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, I mean literally every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of shit, evil globalist, great reset banker cries. That's a beautiful thought to start the week on. Take care.